All right, we are live on Instagram, finally. My gosh. All right. Today's day two. Day two of Manifest the Shit out of 2024. I'm so happy you are all here. I am so happy to see all of the amazing work, all of the amazing feedback. It's been so beautiful. I am so proud of you guys. I love it. Hi, Steph. Hello. Welcome. I got my eyelashes getting in my eye already. I knew this was going to happen. I don't even know why I bother. I don't even know why I bother. Hello, Instagram. Welcome to day two. Day two. Today we're talking all about dreams, desires, and divine connection. Now, as you're coming in on Facebook and on Instagram, let me know about your breakthroughs that you had from yesterday. Anything came up? Any aha moments? What did you think? Let me know. Was there anything that stood out more than usual or anything at all? My eyelash is about to get ripped off, by the way. This thing is in my eye. Not good. I don't know why I try to be a girl. I'm really good at being a girl, but I'm really also bad at being a girl. Steph says, yes, our Dharma. Literally just made a post on this. We're going to be talking about that today. That is so beautiful. It is, when we talk about dreams and desires, divine connection goes right along with it, because the dreams and desires that we have come from our higher self. That's where it's coming from, is your higher self. And so often we feel like we're not meant for what we really want because it's not happening, or it's not happening in the time frame that we want it to or expect it to. And that's when we really have to double back down on our spiritual practices and that divine connection, the higher self connection within us, so that we are sure we are meant for these things, because we are. But when we get stuck in the land of I'm not meant for it, or I'm not worthy enough to have it, or that person can do it, but I can't, so there must be something wrong with me. When we get stuck in that land, we're just going to perpetuate those stories. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. I am loving all the participation. It's so beautiful. So just as a reminder, you can post your work on Instagram, like on your Instagram stories, take a photo, tag me so I see it. And you can also post your own post in the Facebook group. So some sisters have been doing that, and I love to see the work you're doing. It's so beautiful. I am also doing the work. So when I go through these challenges with you, I do the work every night myself. So last night I forgot to post it on my stories, but I did the activity that we had last night. I need a better word for homework instead of saying homework. If anyone has an idea, let me know. I've been looking for a better word for a really long time now. So yeah, and if you are tuning in right now and you're not signed up for the challenge, make sure you go to my bio, or if you're on Facebook, it's itsamandamay.com/links, and sign up, because we're going to take the link down tomorrow. You want to get on that list so that you have access to all the replays, all the homework, or a better word for homework. I really have no idea. I just draw a blank every time I think, what could be a better word for homework? I have no idea. So yeah, as you're coming in, let me know you're here. Biggest breakthroughs at Facebook, what breakthroughs you had from yesterday. I saw some really good ones in the Facebook group. It's amazing. And everything that you're learning in this challenge is taken from my newest program. It's a DIY program called Quantum Dream Life Design, and it's brand new, totally new. It has not launched yet, but the waitlist is going to open on Friday. This program will lead you through the process of creating that overall dream life picture so that you can call in the next level success and abundance you desire. And it's going to teach you how to do that from the space of your higher self. So the waitlist opens on Friday, but you can also DM me the words dream life if you want to get on that waitlist early. And just a reminder, all my membership students right now will get that program for free. And if you are being called to enroll in our membership, it's called Divine Magic. It's a monthly membership program. If you're being called to join us in that container, if you enroll by Friday, you will also receive the new program, Quantum Dream Life Design, for free. Okay? Any questions, just send me a DM. And our membership, that's our monthly group container. We come together twice a month now. It's a beautiful container. I see a lot of our sisters from the membership are in both places already too right now. I love that group. So you can also check out all the information. itsamandamay.com/links or in my Instagram bio. I'm in both places, so I don't even know where to tell people to go. Okay. So yeah, today's day 2. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm going to just check in on Facebook. Where did I put Facebook? Oh, uh-oh. I put it all the way to the bottom of the screen by accident. Yes. Sarah says inner work. What do you mean by that, sister? Inner work? Inner work? That's what we're doing. Let me know what you mean. I love that. All right. So today's day 2. We're talking all about dreams, desires, and divine connection. And I added this together not just because all of these words have D's. They all start with D's. Sounds good, right? But I added it in there because your dreams and your desires are the product of the divine connection within you. Your dreams and desires come from your higher self. Your higher self is 111, by the way. I said that yesterday too. It's 111. 111 is a beautiful sign, right? Pay attention to those numbers, guys. I said that yesterday too. Pay attention to the number patterns, the sequences you are seeing. Your dreams and desires come from your higher self. Your higher self is always pushing you towards your purpose and towards deep fulfillment. Like, that's the job of your higher self. She's always there to lead you towards deeper fulfillment, deeper purpose. 111. Yeah, Crystal said 111. Always. It's like it always comes up. That's the job of your higher self, always leading you towards your purpose. Now, the ego, like we were talking about yesterday, will come up in an effort to keep you safe. Because when you go for those big dreams and you go for those big desires, your life is going to look very different on the other side. It's unknown, and the unknown is scary. So the ego will come up with all these reasons and all this chatter to try to bring you back down. But your higher self is leading you in the other direction. Your higher self is always, always leading you towards your deeper purpose and deeper fulfillment. And this is why we do this work. This is why we do the work to manifest our dreams. This is why we do personal development and spiritual growth work and healing work. It's all in honor of our higher self. It's all to try to align more fully with that divine essence within us in this lifetime, right? It's reaching higher states of consciousness. And as we grow and expand and shed more of the limiting layers, and as we heal deeper, and as we move towards our fulfillment and our ultimate joy, that's being in the space of your higher self. That's embodying your higher self energy. Your higher self is always, always, always guiding you. So I want to check in on Facebook. Oh, Sarah. Oh my gosh. Sarah said to call it inner work instead of homework, and I love that. How did I not even think of that? Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is perfect. See, it's really difficult for me to be on both screens sometimes because I just get like, yeah, we're going to call it inner work instead of homework. I just love that. I'm going to give you a special shout out in the email today. I couldn't think of this. All right. Yeah, your higher self. The ego comes up to prevent you from going after those dreams. And a lot of us are here because we know we're meant for something so much more. Like you feel it, right? Like you feel it in your body. You feel it in your cells. I am meant to do big things in this world. I am meant to reach more people. I am meant to get my message out there. I am really meant to help people. I'm meant to raise up the vibration of the whole planet, right? Think about that. That's the divine part of you. Really, we are all here to not only make our lives a better place, but to make this whole place a better place, as difficult as that might sound. The higher self, divine energy within you is always guiding you towards that path. So when we have those dreams and desires, you got to know that's coming to you from your higher self. But sometimes ego gets in the way, and a lot of times other people, places, society will get in the way. So we will define what we want, right? Like we want financial freedom, and we want abundance, and we want success. But we don't know why we want it. And it's so important for you to get intentional about this stuff. I'm going to go into like a little story of my own in a minute that many of you have heard already. But it was really hard for me to create success in my business when I didn't really know why I wanted it. Like, I knew I wanted success. I knew I wanted to get out of debt. I knew I wanted to help people. It was like I couldn't figure it out. And for a long time, when I first started my business, I actually decided I had to label myself as a money manifestation coach instead of just, a spiritual mentor and like, really speak my truth and everything that we do here. We really do a lot here, but like the three main groups that we focus on is manifestation, dream life creation, deep inner healing, and soulpreneurship, spiritual entrepreneurship. But I was always told by all of those business coaches that we have to niche down even more, right? We got to get more specific. People don't want my programs and they're not listening to me because I'm not specific enough. So what I was doing was I was labeling myself as a money manifestation coach in an effort to do what they told me to do. They, right? The gurus, and people didn't actually even tell me this, like personally, maybe some did. But like it's stuff that I read, because we read a lot of stuff in the online space and it becomes really noisy. It's important to tune that stuff out. We're going to be talking about that this week too. Like just tuning out the noise and staying in your divine power and your empowerment. So I labeled myself a money manifestation coach because I thought that would get me clients. I thought that would get me to the financial success that I wanted and the financial freedom that I wanted. I thought that that's what I had to do, right? Like I was listening to others, what I had to do instead of listening to myself. And in that space of not listening to myself, I started to not trust myself. I began to not trust the things that I put out there, the content that I put out there, the decisions that I made, the moves that I made, the way I spoke, the words that I wrote, my copy, my content. I started to really not trust myself because I was reading all of these things like, oh, you have to have a niche and you have to do this and you have to do that. And it didn't feel good to me. It really didn't. Obviously, I have a niche, right? Spirituality, and my programs are very specific to specific things. But me, myself, my brand, I couldn't figure it out. It was like, well, what is my niche? I don't know. This is really difficult. I have to figure it out. Listening to everybody else instead of listening to myself. And I think that a lot of us have built up these desires and expectations based on what we hear, other people. And then what happens in that is that we stop trusting ourselves. We stop trusting our higher selves. We stop trusting that connection within us. And just checking on Facebook. And that's how the disconnect happens, right? So you need to be able to start defining these things on your own terms. When I began to align with what I really wanted to do, when I began to define my mission, right? I wasn't here just to teach manifestation. I was on a mission to help others access this divine power that's within all of us. That's a mission. The mission is also to raise up the vibration of the planet in the process, right? Like, that's a mission. That's a big thing. My mentor a few weeks ago, I think she was saying from her mentor, told her something like that we're not enrolling people in our courses and programs. We're enrolling people in our mission. But for years, a lot of us were trying to fit into a box. Steph says it's 1818 over in the UK. Beautiful. Look it up. I don't know 1818 off the top of my head, but look it up. So yeah, we try to fit ourselves into a box. We try to listen to everybody else but ourselves. We define things like success and abundance on other people's terms or on society's terms. And this is why it doesn't work out for us. Instead of truly listening to our higher self and truly being guided by that energy within us. That's that feminine flow. That is allowing ourselves to be guided, intuitively guided by our intuition, guided by our mission. Right? And even if you're not in business, you still have a mission. And I always say this too, even if you don't have a business, you are in the business of creating the reality of your dreams. That's it, period. That's your business. It's a deep journey of the soul, no matter which way you take it, right? Entrepreneurship is a deep journey of the soul. And being in the business of creating your dream reality, that is a deep journey of the soul. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself in the process. I'm sure you're very familiar with that already. But a lot of times it could be pretty sobering when we realize, wow, like I was trying to do this thing based on what everyone else told me. Or I was trying to, build this business based on what I thought was going to, not based on what I thought, based on what I was told would help me create success and abundance. Or I was even trying to create success and abundance in my life based on what society told me success and abundance looked like. So this story, a lot of you have heard this already if you've been in my world. When I talk about defining things on your own terms, okay, before I began my business, a few years after college, I was very lost, very, very lost. I had discovered manifestation. This was about 15 years ago, and I decided I wanted to manifest a career. And the reason I wanted to manifest a career is because I felt lost. I felt without purpose. I felt like I had to have a career because everyone else had a career. You graduate high school and maybe you go to college, and then, whatever you do, you got to have a career after that, whatever it was. And in my mind, based on society's standards, career meant white collar in an office, and I got to wear suits, right? Like that's career. That meant success to me, is being in a suit. Okay. So I decided I wanted to manifest a career, and I ended up manifesting a career perfectly. I had no idea that it was going to be in finance. I had no clue it was going to be in finance, but I manifested a career in finance. It was literally everything that I wanted, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out at all, and I really began to start despising it. It wasn't that I loved the people that I worked with. I absolutely loved the people that I worked with, but I did not like what I was doing. I did not like dragging myself to an office, and because of that, I told myself there's something wrong with me. Everyone else can do it. Why can't I do it? Everyone else can do this. Why can't you do it? You do everything wrong, right? Like all that self-blame and self-shame started coming up again. And it was just like my soul was screaming, this is not what you want. And my higher self was pulling me away from it. So what ended up happening, because I defined success and abundance on society's terms, it didn't work out. So I wasn't making any money. What ended up happening was I decided I was going to put my financial business online, kind of like the Instagram business model that we see today. I wanted a blog. I wanted to be creative. I wanted to maybe even make a financial podcast or a course. I really love the idea of trying to be creative and putting that business online. And in the middle of all of that, I was researching a lot of these online businesses, and I saw a lot of things about manifestation and spirituality. And a lot of business people were talking about manifestation and spirituality. And I'm like, I love manifestation and spirituality because I had been a practitioner for years prior to this. It was my favorite thing in the world. And the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute, I want a business, and I want to be creative, and I want to do all those things, but I don't want to talk about finance. I want to talk about spirituality. I want to talk about manifestation. And like, you see the progression of how it happens. Like everything was kind of placed in front of me. Everything was placed in my realm, and I was supposed to take these steps. So if I never had that business in finance, maybe I never would have had the idea to put my business online, right? Maybe I probably, if it's my purpose, which I believe we have many purposes, I also believe our purpose is anything that really fills us up and really, really, really brings us joy, which this business, I have never experienced more joy in my life than in this business. In fact, yeah, let me go on that for a second. I'll go back to that one. I'll go back to that one. But you see how the progression happens. So you're always being given they call it the next logical steps, right? So when we talk about moving closer to our desired reality, our higher self is always putting these next action steps in our realm. Our higher self, the universe, God, creator, source, our angels, whatever and whoever you connect with the most. So the next steps are always placed in front of us. And in a lot of manifestation teachings, they call it the next logical step. But the thing is, these steps usually aren't that logical at all, right? Like, was it logical that I decided to leave my 9 to 5 in finance to start my own business? That's not logical, but I felt it deep within. I felt it. I knew I had to do it. I had to do it. Because if I didn't do it, I would have still been in that realm of hating waking up in the morning, like actually despising my day. It was sucking the soul out of me. Just checking in on Facebook again. Okay. This is like, it's never, you know what I think would be easy? If I set this up and then I had like the phone kind of like right here. I'm going to see if I can do that. I don't think so though. So yeah, we're always given those next logical steps, logical, but they're not really logical, not all the time. Usually it is those big scary leaps too that are the way to go. It's usually those big scary leaps. Ow. It's usually those big scary leaps that will help us get to that natural progression towards the reality that we truly desire. Steph says it's crazy how we become prisoners to our lives. Yeah, that's such a way of putting it. Like, whoa, right? And it's like we think that there's something wrong with us if we're not getting it to work out. We think that there's something wrong with us if we hate sitting in an office all day. We think that there's something wrong with us if we don't like being around people all day, right? Like we need our alone time or whatever it may be. It turns into this negative self-talk and self-shame again because we think that there's something wrong with us, but it's not that there's something wrong with you. It's that your soul is screaming and you really got to tune back into that higher self energy. Now, another thing I've been seeing a lot, and this has been happening to a few of my clients, and I've just been seeing it a lot in the online space. A lot of people had found success in their businesses or even in their careers, in their lives. And then within the last few years or so, they were not able to maintain that level of success. And based on what I have seen, obviously, I can't speak for everybody, but what I have seen, I think it's because a lot of that success was based on ideals of success that weren't their own. They were chasing after something that they thought they had to chase after because maybe the business gurus taught them that this was the way to go. Or maybe they saw, a coach told them that. Or maybe society told them that. Excuse me. It wasn't, if it's not defined on your own terms, it's going to be like that wobbly energy we were talking about yesterday. There's no strong foundation. There's no strong foundation. Steph says, stuck in jobs we hate, but thinking we can't change it because of our self-worth. Absolutely. Yeah. We feel like there's something wrong with us. I feel like I love this sweatshirt, but it's like big. That's why I like it, but it's always falling down. So you're going to see me doing this a lot. Yeah, I think I need a new space really for my lives. Just like not that comfortable here anymore. My soul is not lit up by this space anymore. My higher self might be guiding me somewhere else. But yeah, I've seen it a lot, and it's because a lot of times, think about it though. We're building our businesses. If you have a business, you're building your business because you want something of your own. So if you're building it based on what everyone else is telling you to do and what everyone else says is what's going to be successful, or building it based on what other people are doing and trying to mimic what they're doing, you're building it on that wobbly foundation. You're not building it for yourself. You're not building it based on, the definitions of success and abundance that you truly desire. You're not building it on your mission with that foundation of your mission. This thing is really annoying me now. So I've been seeing that, and it's not that you had, or it's not that they had set up a business and they failed. It's more like your higher self is guiding you back home. Your higher self is guiding you back to what you really want. Building that foundation based on what your definitions of success and abundance are, what your mission is. It's always good to go back and redefine this stuff too. Sometimes we're told, okay, well, we need to do this, this, and that in order to get to 10K months. Or, okay, we need to have a funnel, right? We need to do a free masterclass that leads into a funnel. And then at the end of the funnel, we're going to push our programs and our courses through the email. And that'll get people to sign up for our high ticket offers. Well, what if you don't like that? What if you don't align with it? It's like when we listen to everyone and everything else, it's going to be built on wobbly energy. And this goes for whether or not you have a business. You need to be able to define these things on your own. What does success mean to you? What does abundance mean to you? What is your mission and why are you doing it? And the more you define these things on your own terms, the more you trust yourself, the more you trust the message that you're putting out there, the content that you're putting out there, the more you trust the next steps that you take towards your desired reality, your dream life, the overall picture. The more you trust yourself, the more you trust your intuition, the more you flow in that aligned feminine state. You're flowing. Things are easy. Things happen for you. Things get attracted to you. They come to you. And you realize it. Like what I saw when I was in finance, and I saw this beautiful business thing that was on Instagram. I saw everyone had these businesses on Instagram, and I was in finance. I had a financial practice. I didn't really have clients, but I had a practice of my own. And I was thinking, I really want to put it online because I love this idea of being creative and having a blog, maybe having a podcast, maybe doing courses and programs. You know, like it was like I had that idea, and that was my higher self guiding me to it. I wasn't meant to put my finance business online, but I was meant to be here right now and bring this beautiful community to life. Really double down on your mission. Think about your mission. Checking out on Facebook. Okay. Okay. So you need to define these things on your own terms. And also, you know, like, why do you want them? Period. Like, really think about why you want them, what feelings you want. We always say we manifest from a place of feeling, like we know this already, but be intentional, right? Like when I started to become intentional about my business, well, why do I want success? Why do I really want it? What feelings do I want to get out of this business? What do I want? I started to trust myself more. I started to be guided towards that deeper purpose. Your higher self is always guiding you, always guiding you. You know, and like also to go back to those businesses that were successful and then they failed, or maybe you haven't seen success in your business. Maybe you're like me and you had a business for 5 years and you haven't seen success. Maybe you saw a little bit of success and now no more. Maybe you just started. Maybe you don't have a business at all. Maybe you're just in the business of creating your dream reality. But, you know, no matter what, like success doesn't always mean business. It doesn't mean money. Abundance doesn't always mean money, right? That's why we have to define these things on our own terms. Define what they mean to you. But back in the day, a few years ago, like when I first started my business, about 5 years ago, a lot of these things were built up on those the age of bro marketing. So as a heart-centered entrepreneur, it was really hard for me to get behind these weird tactics, like the DMs, like being in people's DMs, or posting comments on other people's pages that were like me in an effort to get, it was just weird, like weird tactics that I didn't really vibe with, some email tactics and things like that. But a lot of us tried them out. And maybe they even worked for a little bit for some people. But if you are a true heart-centered entrepreneur, or a heart-centered leader, or a heart-centered leader of your own reality, which you are, you could be subconsciously turned off by all of this. You may be subconsciously turned off by success in general. I mean, like when we talk about like bro marketing and the masculinity of it all, I mean, when you think about success in general, it's very bro, right? There's that hustle culture. Hustle. We got to wake up early. We got to work 9 to 5, and we got to do everything too, right? Then we got to get home. We got to put food on the table. We got to make sure the kids are dressed. We got to make sure we put them into bed. And then we have to make sure, you know, everything is planned out for the next day and the lunches are planned out. We got to do this, clean up the house. Hustle. It has become the norm. But your higher self doesn't live in hustle. Your higher self lives in flow and freedom, alignment, abundance, joy, confidence, empowerment, inner knowing that everything is going to be okay. She doesn't have to live in hustle because she knows even without hustle, everything's going to be okay. And that's not to say, you know, just like, let's all go be divine, feminine, and just like completely not have the masculine at all. Like, we need to have both. We need to have masculine and feminine, and they need to mesh in the way that works best for us. And like what works best for me might not work best for you. But as a society, we are so addicted to the hustle culture. And when we build up a foundation of success and abundance on that hustle culture, it's not going to work. Might work for a little while, but then you're going to get burnt out. It might work for a little while, but then you're going to, you know, manifest illnesses or just burnout. It's like no other word for burnout. Total burnout. You might start like hating yourself, hating your life, hating your business, just completely disconnecting from things, not feeling fulfilled. Is that really success? Is that really being abundant? And it's like your higher self is always guiding you in the other way. And you know it. You have those visions, you have those thoughts, and you have those beliefs in your heart. Like you know you're meant for big, big things. Steph says, love that. I love that you love that. Okay. Every time I do this, I'm checking on Facebook, by the way. Because it's like, Facebook is so annoying, and I'm in an ongoing battle with this platform. But in order to look at the comments, like, I have to kind of, like, my video is up here, and then I have to scroll down to look at the comments, and it's really annoying. But, like, I don't know. I'll never figure it out, and I really don't care. But, yeah, we're addicted to hustle culture, and we are... It's like building a foundation based on just that wobbly energy again, like what we were talking about yesterday. You're not building a strong foundation based on what you really desire. You're not building a strong foundation based on that beautiful alignment, that your higher self lives in. Also, remember, your higher self, I just said this sort of, but like your higher self always sees the bigger picture. Like, think about that for a minute. When you come up against things like a decision you have to make, or when you come up against things like an argument or something just that's bothering you, let's say, affecting you, try to zoom out and look at these things from the space of your higher self. Because your higher self is just seeing the overall picture, the bigger picture. She sees what's really going on, right? So instead of like freaking out about something, like maybe somebody's driving you crazy, zoom out and look at the situation as your higher self. And your higher self will probably see it as, well, that person is hurting, or, I don't need to deal with this. Walk away, right? I don't got to deal with this today. Whatever it may be. Our higher self is always there guiding us towards a deeper fulfillment, deeper purpose, all the time, all the time. And when we are building up those foundations on that wobbly energy, there's going to come a point where everything just falls down. And that point, even if you have all the money in the world, is that really worth your health? Is that really worth your happiness? So we need to start defining these things on our own terms. And if you are in business and you're in that situation where you did see success and then you lost it, right? Then it's time to just start redefining it. Doesn't mean you're not meant for it. Or if you are, in a career and you feel like it's not going where you want it to go, it doesn't mean you're not meant for it. If it's what you really, really want, doesn't mean you're not meant for it. It means that it's time to redefine these things for you. That's why we do this. We do it for us. We don't do it for all those other people out there. We do it for us. So when we're building up foundations and definitions of success and abundance based on what everyone else is telling us and what society is telling us, that's not doing it for us. So the foundation is weak. It becomes really weak. And then on the other side of that too, it's like we can't hold that energetic frequency because it's not our own. It's based off of other people and other things, right? As we become closer to that higher self energy, we're expanding. We're raising our consciousness and raising our vibration. That's the idea. But we can't really do that if we're defining things on everyone else's terms. We can't really do that if we're telling ourselves we're not meant for this or we're not cut out for this because it hasn't happened in the time frame that we want it to. Instead, we need to go deeper and really analyze what is going on here. Am I posting content because I love this and I think that this is really going to help someone today? Or am I posting content because I think that that's what's going to get me a client? These eyelashes are getting in my eye. Steph says, I have a photo of little me in my vision board and I wrote under it, I do it for her. That is so beautiful, Steph. We should all do that. Have a photo of our inner child, our little selves, and we are doing it for her. We're doing it for her, and then your future self is also looking at you every single day saying, holy shit, look at what she's doing. Because you are literally ripping down everything that we knew, all the old paradigms and the old ways of doing things and the old ways of thinking. You're ripping it all down. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it takes a while for things to even out, right? That's also why tomorrow we're going to talk a lot about healing. So that's like clearing out all of that stagnant energy and everything that's causing a disconnect between you and your higher self. We're going to go into healing tomorrow. But today I really want you to think about these things. Desires, dreams, why do you have them? Why do you desire what you desire? right? Like, okay, going back to the content example, are you creating content from an aligned space? Like a lot of people ask me how I create so much content all the time. And I figured out a way to do it from an aligned, intuitive space. That's what makes me happy. That's why I love doing it. I love creating content because I know how to do it from an aligned and intuitive space. But that's not what I used to do. I used to listen to everybody and everything else. I used to listen to all of, the bro marketers and all of the loud gurus and coaches that said, you have to do this. I remember reading once, you don't post content for yourself. You post it for your ideal clients. And I was thinking like, oh my God, so I shouldn't be posting this, but I really want to talk about this today. And it made me feel bad. And it made me feel like I was doing something wrong. And all that did was hold me back even more. But the thing about content, who sent it to me? I think, I think my mentor Stephanie sent me this beautiful reel the other day or a week or so ago. And it was basically saying, like your content is your art, right? Yes, you are creating it for you. Because when you create something that is an extension of you, that's really meant to be in this world, that is what's going to touch people. That is what's going to help people. That is what is going to magnetize your people right to you. Creating something that you want to create, that you want to birth, right? Your baby, it's an extension of you. No, you're not just creating it for your ideal client. You're creating it because it is an extension of you. It's part of the deeper mission. The deeper mission. Instead of just being here and being in business and trying to get clients and da-da-da-da. No, you're here to do something great. And again, that goes for whether or not you're in business. You're in the business of creating your dream reality. You're here to do something great. You all have gifts. We all have gifts. All of us. This is a mission, And then another thing in those bro marketing days, like we're always taught like, oh, we need leads or we need to do this or we need 10K months. And we try to figure out what we want based on what we're told will work or what, we hear other people say. But is that what you really want? Is that really in line with the mission and the mission of your higher self? That's purpose, guys. Purpose is that deeper mission, the deep fulfillment. That is your higher self's job, always guiding you toward it. Pay attention to all of the synchronicities, all of the signs, even the numbers like I was talking about before. Pay attention to these things. You really begin to strengthen that intuition and you really begin to trust yourself more the more you see, the more you open your eyes and the more you pay attention to these things. How can you infuse more of that feminine higher self flow into everything you do? How can you have more fun with things? How can you have more fun with your content, right? Instead of asking like, what is going to get me a client today? Maybe you can ask, how can I have fun and share something that I love? How can I share my mission and really make someone think and really touch people today, right? Like that's a really different question than, oh, how can I sign a client today? It's like totally different, But if obviously if your desire is really, oh, I need to sign that client because that's what I love and that's what's gonna make me really, really happy, and like you have a really strong energetic connection to it because it's yours, that's okay, obviously, right? But sometimes I think we go through things and we do things and we set intentions based on what we are told we need to do or what we think we need to do. And of course, we want more clients if we're in business, but why? What is the greater mission? How can you infuse more fun into everything? That's why you're here. You're in business or in the business of creating your dream reality because you want to have more fun. You want to have more fulfillment. You want to have more joy. But so why are we getting stuck in the cycle of not being there, right? Not having that fun or listening to other people. That's where I was for a long time. In fact, when I started to really operate from that higher self frequency, I was able to look at the bigger picture, like I was just talking about, and kind of like laugh at it. Like, why are you listening to everyone else? Like, that's so silly. That is so silly. Actually, that's a really good thing too, guys. Try to separate like your human self from your divine self, right? Like try to think as your higher self. And when you're looking at the bigger picture, and be like, oh, she's just being really silly right now, or she's just being really difficult right now, or she's having anxiety right now. How can I soothe her, right? What does she need? What kind of love does she need, We're going to be talking all about that deep root of self-love also tomorrow and really through the rest of the week. All comes back to, you know, your higher self absolutely loves herself, loves you. It is a part of you. That is you. That's the you that was you when you were born. Like the baseline version of you. Checking it on Facebook. Okay. That is you. Try to zoom out and see the bigger picture. Try to think as your higher self. You're going to do that for homework. I'm going to give you your homework in a few minutes. Try to really ask yourself, well, what does my human need right now, right? Like, zoom out and look at the bigger picture. As we dream up our dreams, like I was talking about yesterday and earlier today, ego can get in the way, right? Ego will come up in an effort to keep us safe, to prevent us from going after our dreams, because on the other side of that dream is change, and change is scary. So it's really important to be able to recognize the ego. We were talking about that a lot yesterday. If you guys didn't see the replay yet, that's okay. It's up and it's in your emails. That was day 1. So, you know, it's important to recognize that. But another really, 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 really good way of kind of like moving away from the ego and walking towards your higher self and aligning with that energy is clocking evidence and reinforcing beliefs. Okay. So what do I mean by this? Every time you see the tiniest little bit of evidence of your desired reality, take note of it. Take note of it. So, okay, for example, if you are trying to build up a new business, let's say, or you decided to change your niche, or you decided to switch your mission, or you decided to show up more in your mission, in your actual mission, and you're building up from scratch. Okay, so you want a list, and you want an email list, and you want clients, but things aren't going the way you want it to, or it's taking too long. Well, every time that you see evidence, you're going to clock it. You're going to write it down. You're going to take note of it. So one email subscriber would be evidence. One awesome comment would be evidence. One person joining your Facebook group. One person. That's evidence, right? Any little bit of evidence. I always talk about pennies on the ground. Pennies on the ground is always evidence of abundance. Pick it up, celebrate it. Celebrate it. Because the more you find this evidence, even in the tiny itty bitty things, this is what's going to start to create those new neural pathways in your brain. And this is what's going to create the new belief. Because you're little by little, you're getting yourself away from the old belief system that says that this is not my reality, and it's not happening, and it's not coming, and it's taking too long. Instead, you are building that neural pathway, that new neural pathway, to go and reinforce the belief, the new belief that this is happening. I just realized that I don't think I posted this in the Facebook group. I don't think I did. I think it's on my regular page. Oh, man. I don't know. Guys, let me know if you on Facebook if you're seeing this in the group or on my regular page. Man. It's always something. I just realized that as I was talking. Like, oh, no. All right, let me know, Facebook, if you know if it's in the group or not. So yeah, start to take note of that evidence. Keep track of that evidence. Little bits of evidence, tiny little bits of evidence. Like, oh my gosh, see? Yeah, I am doing it. And tell yourself that story too. Jump up and down. I love that. I am doing it. It is happening. Jump up and down. My shoulder hurts, so I can't really jump up and down right now. Really take note of that evidence. That's what starts to really get the momentum going. I check on Facebook. Oh, it's in the group. Okay, thank you, Michelle. I just like all of a sudden I had all of these notifications and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if people don't see it because it's not in the group? It might be like one person like just liking a bunch of stuff too. Oh, I always think of the worst. That's the ego. Thank you. Yes. So also, okay, guys, divine connection. Let's talk about this really fast. Take note of everything. Take your evidence. Divine connection. One of the reasons I was able to finally collapse that gap and collapse time and see the success that I wanted so fast is because of my consistent spiritual practice. And again, like we were talking about yesterday, consistency doesn't have to mean an hour a day or even every day. My eyelash is falling down now. This is the end. Consistency is whatever it means to you. Whatever it means to you. But the more I really connected with the divine part of me and my higher self, the more I saw opportunities open up for me, the more I saw the path that I was supposed to take. And I trusted that. Always trust your guidance. Always trust your guidance. And also don't create the story that says, well, what if I took the wrong path? Now everything's going to be bad. Just create a story that says no matter what path I take, it's going to be the right path. Steph says, tomorrow is my big vision board workshop, the one I manifested about a half a year ago. I'm trying not to leave my body so I can enjoy it. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Steph. I can't wait to hear about it. Steph is another one of my amazing membership students. These women are just, they're so phenomenal. So phenomenal. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. Yeah, consistent spiritual practice. How can you connect with your divine energy more fully each day? Maybe it is just doing an activity like that, zooming out. Maybe it is just kind of like checking in for a few minutes and asking yourself, well, like, what would my higher self think in this situation? How would she react? How would she act? What would she say to me as I'm feeling nervous or as I'm feeling like everything is going wrong, as I am feeling like I'm doing everything wrong, as I'm in the self-blame and self-shame? What would my higher self say to me right now? And kind of really put yourself in that space. Get to know this energy. On day 5, on Friday, we're going to really go into higher self embodiment, like how you can snap into that energy, how you can operate from that frequency. But really think about it. And guys, it's the small steps. Like I started out when I took 2 years off of my business to heal alcohol addiction right after COVID. And when I came back in really slowly. I felt very disconnected from my business at first. That spiritual connection is really what A, helped me recover from alcohol addiction, and B, it helped me expand this business and grow and scale this business and live in my purpose. I love waking up every morning because I get to do what I love. I love it. I love it. Like I dance in front of the mirror. Like I get to do what I love. And you know what? That's another thing. Even when I wasn't seeing the success that I wanted, I reminded myself there is no way this is not my purpose. Because when I think about going back to a 9 to 5, it's like my soul cries. But when I think about showing up online every day, even if no one's listening, I still love it because I get to do what I love, right? That's not to say that we need to like leave our jobs so that we can just like be on our businesses that don't work and da 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 da. Like I always say to people, make sure you have a safety net if you need it. I did. I was doing freelance work. I was doing a lot of freelance work. I'm actually still writing for a freelance company. Oh, yes. Oh, I love you guys. Everyone is celebrating in the Instagram. I love it. Celebrate one another. Beautiful. Yeah, I was doing freelance work, so I will never tell somebody, oh, just be your higher self and leave your business and don't worry about it. Everything will work out. Like it doesn't, I ideally maybe, but it doesn't always work that way, and we know that. We still live in Earth reality. So I would always tell people, if you need that safety net, have the safety net, of course, but you can also learn how to connect with this divine energy more and more. And you could also learn how to fit your purpose and your passions into things. And that's what I was doing. So when I began to make my way back into my business and my spiritual practice, all I did was go outside for 5 minutes a day to take deep breaths. I did like meditation, mindfulness, breathing outside in the fresh air. That's it. 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes sometimes. That's all. But I did it every day. Maybe I would have missed like one day here or there. I did it every day. And that's how I got back into it. I was able to connect with my higher self. I was able to connect with that divine energy each and every day. How can you connect more with this energy? And also don't try to put yourself in a place where you feel like you need to do all the spiritual things or all the manifesting things. Like I got to meditate today and I got to visualize and I got to script and I got to take out my journal, but I didn't get to do this. And it's not, you're never going to do it. It's just can't, it's not realistic. And then what happens is when you don't do it and you don't sit down in your practice, you shame yourself. Oh, I didn't do it again. Well, of course not. Who wants to do all that stuff in one day? I certainly don't, right? That goes back to what do you really want to do, right? And like everything that you learn from me too, take what resonates, take what aligns most with you. This is about carving your path, being empowered, living in empowerment. We're going to talk about empowerment when we get into healing tomorrow too. Leading your life, being in the driver's seat. and truly trusting yourself. This is your life. Create your own toolkit, but figure out the best ways for you to connect with the divine energy every day. Figure out the best ways for you to have your spiritual practice, even if it's just a few minutes a day. Okay? Always check your energy, too. Always check your energy. Oh, I never look at I barely look at my notes. Like, I always go off book, and then I'm like, oh, wait. Yeah, okay. Always check your energy, too. Always check your energy. Always check your thoughts, your vibrations. See what's going on. Don't shame yourself. If you're in, negativity land. We're going to be in negativity land sometimes. We are human. It's part of this experience. We chose to be here as humans, so that's part of your experience. So don't blame yourself or shame yourself, but really check in with these things. That's part of being in control. That's part of being a master of your own reality. You align with your big, big dreams by becoming the version of you who's already living there. And you do that by taking these small steps. Yeah, negativity lands. You align more fully and you embody that version of you who is living in your desired reality by taking these small steps, like checking in with your energy, checking in with the dominant thoughts that you have, checking in with the dominant stories that you're telling yourself, learning how to dismantle them, learning how to alchemize, learning how to transmute them into something beautiful and delicious. That's your job, and you're doing it for you. Your higher self is leading the way. Your soul, these yummy divine elements are leading the way, and your guides have you, and God and the universe always have your back. But you are doing this for you, and you learn how to really be self-led and empowered and soul-led. The more and more you do that work, and the more you check in with yourself. Well, what are my dominant thoughts? What are my dominant feelings? Okay, well, why am I feeling like this? We talked about that a little bit yesterday. Now you really... Okay, how do I want to say this? I just got stuck again because I looked at my stupid notes. I gotta just take the notes away because every time I look at them, I get confused because I'm just talking. Okay, so yes, in order to get to where you want to be, we first have to know where we want to go, right? We need to know our desires. We need to know what we want. We need to know what we want. Not what we want based on what they say that we want or what they say that we should do or what they think. Or what we think that they think, right? We need to know what we want. And a lot of us obviously know what we want. We know what our goals are. We go after our dreams. That's why we do this work. But it never hurts to revisit this stuff, okay? That's what you're going to do today for homework. You got to get that magic out there. Get your magic out there. What is the big vision? It doesn't hurt to revisit this stuff, especially from this angle that I'm about to give you. You can be, do, and have absolutely anything you desire. Your higher self knows this. Remind yourself of this. Visualize how your higher self is acting or reacting or feeling or thinking. Start to really get to know that energy, okay? Now for homework, what you're going to do is tap into that energy. Tap into your higher self, and you're going to make a simple list of your dreams and desires. Lists are so powerful. I say this all the time. You probably hear me talk about this all the time. I use a list to manifest my soulmate. I use a list to manifest that career and finance. I make lists all the time. I don't know if you could still hear me because the plane is going by. Okay, it's gone. I make lists all the time. So what I want you to do for homework for day 2, for our challenge, is make a list of your dreams and desires. And that list, as you make it, you're going to be making it from the space of your higher self. So pretend you are your higher self, the version of you who knows she could be, do, and have anything. The version of you who is guiding you to your deeper purpose. Make that list of desires and dreams unapologetically. Don't even pause. Just go for it. Write down your deepest dreams, your deepest desires. Don't think about how you're going to have them. Just write them down and do it from the space of your higher self. Pretend you are your higher self. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions about that at all. You can leave any questions on the Instagram when it's uploaded, in the Facebook group. Yeah, you guys are doing amazing work. I love the work I'm seeing already. Tomorrow, for day 3, we're going to get into deep inner healing and empowerment. And keep posting your work. I love to see it, guys. Michelle says, I resonate with this so much. So much pressure, and you set yourself up to be disappointed when it's not really aligned with you. Oh, yeah. creating my own plan sounds doable and expansive. And you know what, Michelle, too, like that's such an amazing point that you made there. We not only do we have to do what we want to do, right? Like when we are living according to everybody and everything else, it can be so exhausting. And then one day we might wake up and be like, why? You know, like we're not truly fulfilled. But also, Michelle was saying it feels doable, right? It feels expansive to really think about what I want. It's got to feel expansive. It's got to feel like it stretches you a little bit, right? It expands. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to go into deep inner healing and empowerment. Keep posting the homeworks in the Facebook, post them on Instagram in your stories and tag me. If you are interested in joining Divine Magic, that is our monthly membership container. It's a group membership container. We do group coaching calls every month. There's a new masterclass training each month, workbook and meditation. It's a beautiful, beautiful space. And if you join the membership by Friday, you do get the new DIY program, Quantum Dream Life Design, for free. You can go to itsamandamay.com/membership or DM me and I'll send you the link. All right. Yeah. Good stuff, guys. Oh my gosh. I just love it. I love everything I'm seeing. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. You are all rock stars. You are so welcome, Steph. Thanks for being here. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. 1 p.m. for day 3. Thank you for being here, everybody. Bye. Bye, Facebook.